It was a warm summer afternoon in a quiet neighborhood park in Washington, D.C. Barron Trump, wearing a light blue shirt and khaki pants, was taking a casual stroll. Near the playground, he noticed a boy sitting on a shaded bench, holding a small, fluffy dog tightly in his arms. The boy's face showed a mix of joy and sadness. The dog nestled lovingly against him, as if it were his only source of comfort and trust. Barron watched them for a while, then decided to approach. Slowly walking over, he offered a gentle smile. "Hi," he said in a calm voice. "Your dog is adorable. What's its name?" The boy looked up, surprised by Barron's friendly demeanor. "His name is Lucky," the boy replied shyly. "I found him a few days ago." He was wandering the streets, and no one wanted him. Barron nodded thoughtfully. "Lucky is a perfect name for him. It seems like you've built a strong bond with him. He really trusts you." The boy smiled faintly and hugged Lucky even tighter. "He's my only friend. Without him, I'd feel so lonely. At that moment, I'd feel so lonely. At that moment, I'd feel so lonely." At that moment, a woman approached hurriedly. Her name was Jessica, and she was holding a photograph of a dog in her hand. She scanned the area frantically, and her eyes lit up when she saw the dog. "Wait," Jessica exclaimed excitedly. "That's Max. I've been looking everywhere for him." The boy's face turned pale. He held Lucky even closer and said with a trembling voice, "No, he's mine. I found him and no one wanted him." Jessica knelt down to meet the boy at eye level. Her voice was gentle but firm. "Sweetheart, I understand," she said, her tone sincere but strained. "But Max is my dog. We've been together for years. Losing him was like losing a part of my family." Tears welled up in the boy's eyes. "But I've also lost my family," he said, his voice quivering. "Lucky makes me feel less alone. He's my friend." Jessica looked at the boy silently for a moment. Her eyes filled with both empathy and sadness. "I know, sweetheart. But Max is very important to me, too." I was beginning to lose hope that I'd ever find him. Barron, sensing the growing tension, stepped in with a calming gesture. "All right," he said, his voice steady yet gentle. "Let's pause for a moment and talk. I can see how important this dog is to both of you, but arguing won't change how much. He's loved." The boy wiped his tears. "But Lucky is everything to me. I'd be so lonely without him," he said, his voice shaking. Jessica sighed deeply at the boy's heartfelt words. "I can see how much you care for him," she said softly. "Max, or Lucky, has clearly been safe and loved with you. But he's a big part of my life, too. I can't express how hard it's been without him." Barron sat down beside the boy, meeting his gaze. "Danny, I understand how much Lucky means to you," he said gently. "But can you also see that Jessica feels the same way? She sees Lucky as part of her family, too." Danny was silent for a moment before, nodding slightly. "But I don't really have a family," he said. "Lucky isn't just a dog to me." Hearing this, Lucky isn't just a dog to me. Hearing this, Jessica cleared her throat and spoke softly. "I know, sweetheart. Max isn't just a dog to me either. He's my companion and my friend, but knowing how much he's been loved makes finding him even more special." Barron interjected thoughtfully. "What if Lucky, or Max, could bring you both together? Maybe there's a way for him to stay in both your lives." Jessica considered this for a moment before nodding. "Danny, it's clear that you've taken such good care of Lucky. That makes me so happy. If you're willing, we could share him." Danny looked at Jessica in surprise. "Share him? Really?" Barron smiled. "Yes, Jessica, maybe Danny could visit Lucky anytime he wants. You could take walks and play together. Lucky could have both of you in his life. Jessica smiled warmly. That's a wonderful idea. It would mean so much to me to know that Max has someone else who loves him as much as I do. Danny looked at Lucky, then at Jessica. Slowly, he loosened his hold on the dog and nodded reluctantly, sensing Jessica's sincerity. Okay, he said quietly, but I need to see him often. Jessica beamed. Of course, sweetheart. You can visit him anytime you want. I'm so happy Max has a friend like you. Barron, seeing the resolution, felt a sense of relief. You see, he said, sometimes just talking can help us find a solution. Lucky will always be a special bond between you two. Jessica turned to Barron with gratitude in her eyes. Meeting. Someone like you is such a blessing. Thank you for helping us. Danny nodded and smiled faintly. Yeah, Barron. If it weren't for you, I might have lost Lucky. Thank you. Barron shrugged modestly. I just did what anyone should do, he said. As Barron walked away from the park, he felt a quiet sense of satisfaction. A small act of kindness had changed the life of a dog and brought two people together.